Howdy, Ayebawl here, and welcome to another episode of Factorio with Arumba's Angel plus Bob Mosspack. We got a couple of things for this episode. Not too much is going on. Gotta still have a lot of building ahead, but can only do so much at one time. First off, I noticed that I was running low on armor-piercing rounds, so I went ahead and upgraded the assembler and then doubled up the process. So hopefully that fixes the situation. So what I want to do now is go ahead and set up an area for robot construction. So I want to set up for both construction and logistics all the way up to Mark IVs. So right now I don't have any engines being made, but I do have a lot that was in storage. So we're going to utilize those first before we start remaking engines. So right now, I'm setting down some assemblers, trying to get an idea about spacing issue and what exactly it's all going to entail, just so I can get a visualization of it. So the assemblers that are left blank are for the Mark IVs, which I don't believe I have researched yet. So as soon as I do get those researched, the infrastructure is already in place. All I have to do is just set their build type, and then they'll be able to go. So I'm telling the robots to bring me all the spare parts that were put into storage. I want to try to empty out storage and start utilizing the material that's in there so that stuff isn't just sitting there and ended up just being wasteful because it never got used. So I take the spare parts that the robots built me and I throw those in the chests. Eventually. Right now I am wiring up each passive provider inserters so that they only hold, so that the chest itself will only hold up to 10. I don't want to waste a lot of resources for a full stack. With research been running for a while now, my surplus of iron has depleted greatly. But that's for a topic on another episode. Technically, next episode. So since I'm using uh, wires or circuit logistics, I don't need to actually close down parts of the chest. I can leave the chest completely open because the limitation is set by the wires. So for the frames, I double up the actual Mark version that I want. So when I go to Mark 4s, the bottom two blue ones will get turned into Mark 4s as well as the assembler that was blank right now. So I'll throw the electric engines into a passive provider next to the frames, and I'm going to take the normal engines up to where the lubrication is at and get those turned into electric engines. So I'm not going to go through the base again and tear down all the roboports to collect all the robots. Um, that's okay in the beginning, but now the base is just too big and too reliant on robots. So I believe there is a mod that helps out with the upgrading of robots from one version to another. Going to have to go look for that mod and see about getting it. I believe the way it works is that you take you put a robot that you want, or the version that you want, into the chest, and if it sees a robot of a lower tier in one of the roboports, it will snatch that robot up and then release the one that's in the chest. I believe that's how it works. I'll have to go look for it on the mod portal. So what's going on here is that I need to get gears and ball bearings set up for steel, titanium, and brass. Took me to realize that brass didn't have a ball bearing type that was ceramic. So I went ahead and then just removed that. Afterwards, I kind of wanted to split flop brass and titanium, but I figured I'll just put the heavy pump there instead. Alright, so those are set up. So for right now, I'm just going to output the Mark IIIs into a chest until I figure out a better way of grabbing the older robots so that they can be upgraded. Right now I have the purple inserters to pull out the particular type of robots into the assemblers. So any robot that goes to that robot port will get pulled out to get upgraded. So the research that I'm currently working on now is for the Power Armor Mark II. And I need to increase the speed module and the green one. I think that's production. I don't remember. So here is an interesting setup for the belts. I believe when I first saw this setup, it was from Stijo. I have modified it, kind of. I think I've added more gears, or gear assemblers. And since I'm no longer interested in yellow belt, I am marking, or I'm using wires to make sure that no more than like 10 or 25 is put into each of those chests. Red belt, I'm fine with a stack, and blue belt can just go wild. So interesting, I went ahead and I attached the setup to the belt or the main bus. It wasn't until later when I realized that I still was going to make a copy of the setup and then shift it over into its proper place. But it did help with the visualization about where everything was going to be at. All right, so now I can actually connect it to the main bus. Ah, efficiency. That's what the green ones are. So I had to set up the filter and solder for green, and then back to work on the belt setup. So I forgot to include iron plate for the yellow splitter and yellow belt, but that's a quick, easy fix. Alright, so the belts are all set up to be made. This can just run in the background while I'm setting up other assemblers. This setup will eat iron plates like it's rice cakes, as if it's like nothing. So for Speed Modules 3, it needed those green cards, green gold cards. So that research will go ahead and take place, and we'll go ahead and leave it here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.